Shannon, your takeaway from all this?
Pittsburgh Steelers fans, now you see, with all that talent with the
That's
big
true.
three, why you never won anything meaningful.
That is true. I agree with that.
There it is right there. So you don't need to ask, well, man, they had Le'Veon, they had AB, they had Big Ben, yada, yada, yada. Why didn't we win? There you have it. Skip, it's a terrible look. There's nothing that the Jets can do because, as they said, as Adam Gase said, well, he didn't break any rules. He was supposed to be, obviously, he's supposed to be at home, but he's sick now. He's so sick he can't play in the game, but he can go bowling. Le'Veon, you know that's a horrible look, bruh. And then you're going to try to play it off. It didn't come up with a distraction. You don't get to decide what's a distraction. While your brothers, your teammates are out there doing battle, I mean, they're getting their rest. They're in the hotel. It's curfew for them. You bowling. Skip, I'm knock on wood a lot for a lot of different things. But I am very thankful. Even with the money being paid to these athletes today, I'm glad I didn't play now. These guys don't care about winning. These guys care about clicks, likes, and how many, posting all kind of foolishness, Skip. They don't care about winning. They're not going to win. And it explains why Adam Gase didn't want him. You see, Skip, it was reported that Adam Gase wanted no parts of Le'Veon Bell, but the general manager overruled him. This is why. This is why, Skip. This is, I mean, what kind of look is this? Can you imagine? I couldn't even imagine. I'm too sick to show up and do the show. But you find out that the night before the show, I got me a good old time.
I would not be happy.
I'm singing karaoke. You know I'm the
Skip
karaoke.
would be happy.
Skip, you know I'm the karaoke king, too. I'm the karaoke king.
Since when?
Who knew?
Yeah.
So that's what you do.
That's not
late
what
night.
I hear in breaks.
Skip,
It's not professional.
And you can't lock, Skip, you can't lock a guy in his house. You can't say, okay, since you're not playing in the game, you go home and you don't come out until after the game. You can't do that, Skip. So I don't know how you find him, and if you tried to find him, the Players Association is going to fight you tooth and nail, and you'll lose. But, Skip, this is a terrible look, and this, you know what? For me, if I'm Adam Gase or who's the general manager, I'm going to let somebody else deal with this next year. I'm done.
Okay, I agree with your premise about this. And for the record, just personally, I have little to no use for Le'Veon Bell. We have beefed before publicly. He has dissed me in one of his diss tracks.
Oh, yes.
And speaking of karaoke, I think your karaoke would be better than his rapping. That's just me.
Harsh.
That was harsh. I have fired back, and he knows how I feel, and vice versa. I said from the start, the Jets way overpaid for him because they were clearly bidding only against themselves. Adam Gase was correct, and he remains overpaid and overrated. But now to this incident. Here I go again. Conflict, because honestly, I have zero problem with his going bowling. The reason being is that the Jets told him no. He said, I'm good to go. They said, you've lost too much weight. He said he lost 9 pounds through his flu last week. They said, you're still too contagious. We don't want you in the locker room on Sunday morning, maybe contaminating another teammate. So he said, I'm good. I want to go. I'll be okay. No. Just go home. But he said they advised him, the doctors advised him, just keep moving to get your strength back. Okay? Just stay on your feet. Don't go back to bed.
So the Jets didn't want him to contaminate the locker room, but go contaminate everybody else that's not in the locker room.
Okay? But that's a whole nother issue because he said he had a whole bunch of family in for the game, which was at home against the Dolphins. And they looked at each other, this is according to Le'Veon, and said, well, we got nothing else to do. Let's go bowling. And bowling's not, as you know, too strenuous. It's not too draining. And Le'Veon said he was coming back. You know how you feel once you get over something? You're starting to feel your oats again. You know, your food stays down. And you're like, I can do this now. I'm starting to feel stronger. And he bowled his career-high 251, according to Le'Veon. But again, I can't fault him for it when it was the Jets who told him no. According to him, he said, I'm good to go. And they said, no, you're not. Okay?
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you how old Shannon Sharpe did thing. I broke my collarbone. I was not required to go stay in the hotel night before the game. I could have stayed at home, did my thing. I had family coming in, had already booked travel, Skip, for people to come in town. Now, you know, this is pre-9/11, so tickets are very expensive. So I go ahead and book these things in advance. Man, you ain't got to go to the game. You know, you don't have to be at the hotel. You know, we in town, family. No, I'm going to the hotel. Y'all want to do something? My girlfriend would take y'all out. Y'all want to go eat? Y'all want to go hang out?
Okay, but remember, they told him you can't even come to the hotel, right?
Skip.
You're contaminated. You're quarantined.
Let them go. You stay your butt at home because the look. How does that look?
It looks bad. I agree with you.
But he doesn't care.
But it wasn't his fault. It was their fault.
No, Skip, it wasn't their fault he got sick. I mean, that's the right thing to do. Don't come contaminate the rest of the locker room. But he didn't have to go out. Skip, I can assure you, he could have, just like this family, they wanted to go out, he could have said, okay, look, I already got it set up. You guys go bowl. You guys have a good time. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to get home because this is going to look terrible. I mean, how you thought it was going to look? You show up with bright orange leather pants at a bowling alley and you stay there from 10 until 1. How do you think that's going to look? But you don't care.
Maybe he wanted the Jets to look bad because he's saying, I'm actually good to go here.
Good to go what? Have you seen Le'Veon play this year?
Okay, well, that's a whole nother.
Okay, then. So you're not good. So if at a healthy, you giving them that, what you think you can do 9 pounds lighter?
How could Michael Jordan have had the classic flu game if the Bulls doctors had said, no, we can't even have you in the locker room tonight. You might infect somebody else.
Well, if Le'Veon Bell had 1,600 yards at this point, he getting his butt out there. But Le'Veon Bell, he got like 500 more rush yards than I got.
Is it possible, because he has been rumored to be on the trade block, that they're just really trying to keep him on mothballs so he doesn't get hurt so they can trade him?
Yeah.
Is it possible that it's still their fault that they sent him home? Is it possible he was just protesting by saying, okay, you're probably going to trade me anyway, I'm going bowling, right?
Don't worry about it, though.
It's a sorry situation.
Yep, but, hey, I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Look, hey, take these $14 million or whatever you got, somebody else going to have to deal with this because I'm not dealing with it anymore. But it explains. I don't even want to hear Steelers fans, I'm sorry. Because there are a lot of questions floating around. Why can't they win the big game with all this talent? Ta-da!
What he might find is when he goes on the trade block, he'll have no suitors except a couple of teams who will say, you know what? If you would renegotiate, we'll take you on a renegotiated contract, but we ain't paying you no $14 million to start over with us because you're not worth it.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.